If you've ever met someone who seems effortlessly stable, quietly competent, and strangely magnetic without saying much, there's a good chance you just crossed paths with a Capricorn. But before you trust them, fall for them, or hand them emotional power over your life, wait. Because Capricorn is the only zodiac sign that can make you admire them deeply and want to sprint in the opposite direction at the exact same time. And yes, it sounds dramatic. But with Capricorn, drama hides inside silence, inside discipline, inside the way they stare at life like they're analyzing a chessboard. So before I begin, tell me. Is Capricorn a blessing or the universe's strictest manager disguised as a human? Drop your answer before I reveal the part that'll make you question everything. The best of Capricorn, their hidden superpowers. Let's start with their bright side, the parts that make the world rely on Capricorn without even realizing it. The first thing you'll notice about them is the way they see life differently from everyone else. While most people move day by day, feeling their way through life, Capricorn moves like someone who already read the manual. They plan, measure, calculate, and build with the precision of an architect who's mapping out a skyscraper. They don't dream in blurry shapes, they organize their dreams into action steps. They don't hope for success, they reverse engineer it. If you watch a Capricorn long enough, you'll realize they don't waste energy. Every decision has intention. Every action has a timeline. Every move has a purpose. They can look 5 years ahead and know exactly what needs to happen today to reach that future. It's not magic, it's clarity sharpened by discipline. And then, there's something even more impressive, their endurance. Capricorn doesn't just push through pain, they practically have a PhD in surviving storms without losing their structure. They absorb pressure like mountains absorbing wind. Something goes wrong? They handle it. Someone disappoints them? They adapt. Life throws chaos their way? Capricorn becomes the calm center of it. You will rarely see them break. Not because they don't feel anything, but because they've learned that collapsing doesn't fix anything. So they survive. Quietly, consistently, and sometimes painfully. And there's a certain honesty to them that's rare. Capricorn doesn't say things they don't mean. If they give you a promise, it's not decoration, it's a commitment. They show their love not through big speeches but through showing up, doing the work, and being solid in ways most people can't. You may not get flowery words, but you will get reliability. You may not get constant affection, but you will get consistency. And in a world full of noise, Capricorn's silence can feel strangely safe. But before you start thinking Capricorns are celestial treasures wrapped in earthly flesh, hold on. Because their shadows are just as powerful as their strengths, and sometimes, even stronger. If you've ever received a real promise from a Capricorn, drop Capricorn rock solid in the comments. You know exactly how rare that is. The worst of Capricorn, shadows they never talk about. Let's step into the darker part of their nature. Not to judge, but to understand. Capricorn's emotional world is complicated. They don't process feelings the way most people do. Instead of letting emotions move freely, they filter them through logic, responsibility, and long-term consequences. To them, feelings are like data. Analyzed, evaluated, then translated into action, or suppressed if considered unproductive. So you might pour your heart out to a Capricorn and get a perfectly structured response that sounds intelligent but feels emotionally empty. Not because they don't care, but because they genuinely don't know how to express what's inside without losing their sense of control. And control, for Capricorn, is everything. It's safety. It's order. It's how they survive in a world that once taught them that vulnerability equals danger. This is why they retreat. Why they go silent. Why they disappear without warning. When something overwhelms them emotionally, they simply shut down the way a system shuts off to avoid overheating. Another heavy shadow they carry is their fear of failure. People see Capricorn as unstoppable, but what they don't see is the internal war Capricorn fights every day. They've internalized expectations so deeply that even resting can feel like a crime. They worry about falling behind. They worry about being judged. They worry about disappointing people they care about, even when those people never asked for perfection. And this fear becomes pressure. Pressure that leaks. Pressure that spreads. Pressure that quietly suffocates everyone around them, especially those they love. Not because Capricorn wants control over others, but because they're trying so hard not to collapse that they don't realize they're pushing others to match their impossible standards. And in relationships, there's another challenge. Once Capricorn believes something, good or bad, they cling to that belief with the grip strength of a 1,000-year-old tree. You can't rush them. You can't push them. You can't change their mind with emotion or argument. Capricorn listens, but they rarely shift. They move only when they decide the moment is right. And sometimes, this makes people feel ignored, unheard, or excluded from decisions that should have been shared. Yet this stubbornness isn't arrogance, it's fear wearing armor. Fear of depending on someone. Fear of letting someone else steer the ship. Fear that if they loosen their grip for even a second, everything they built will crumble. So yes, Capricorn can be frustrating. They can be distant, demanding, and emotionally slow. But all of it comes from wounds they never talk about. Tell me in the comments, does this sound like you, or the Capricorn you love? The truth about Capricorn, a healing ending. Here's the paradox. Capricorn is one of the strongest signs, and one of the loneliest. They don't ask for help. They don't show their cracks. They don't ask for comfort. Instead, they build themselves into foundations for others, while silently hoping someone will one day become a foundation for them too. If you're a Capricorn, hear this. You don't always have to be in control. You don't have to carry every expectation. And strength doesn't have to mean silence. Your softness is not a weakness, it's the part of you no one gets to see, but the part that makes you human. If you love a Capricorn, give them space when they need it, but stability when they collapse. Patience when they shut down, but reassurance when they quietly crave connection. They won't open up easily, but when they do, it's real, rare, and deeply loyal. And if you want me to break down how Capricorn loves, and why they disappear even when they care, drop a Capricorn in the comments and I'll do it next.